This week we're going to talk about loops. There are two different types of loops. There's a for loop and a while loop, and I'm going to have separate videos that talks about each one of those. They do very similar things. It's kind of a personal preference as to which one you want to use. Why do we use loops? Well, it saves us a lot of writing code. Yes, why didn't I show you this in the first week? Well, because I couldn't give it to you all at once. So here I have an example of a circle and a triangle, and this is actually just a couple of lines of code, and I use the loop to be able to get it to repeat the code over and over again. So yes, this is very similar to what we've already done with the if statements. Just the one difference that you're going to see is that when I press play for this sketch, it's going to show me all of the code. It's not going to animate. It's not going to draw out. So I have on the PowerPoint a couple of examples. This is from an artist, Jared Terrible, I think is his last name. And some examples. I have these also that you can look at, you can download, just to give you some more examples for like what's our motivation. So we use a loop so we can get lots and lots of code, lines of code, or sorry, lots and lots of shapes with only a few lines of code. And where we're going with this ultimately is next week you're going to be working on your mandala project. So if we look at something like this, thank goodness we don't have to write out all those lines of code. So after we learn about the loops, so basically we would take a shape and then just loop it, have it repeating. The next step next week is we're going to be talking about rotation and also noise, which is something very similar to random, but as you can see, it's a lot smoother than random. Okay, so in the next video, I'm going to start off talking about the while loop and the difference between an if statement and a while loop.